Hello, in this video I thought I would come and take a look at the Tesla Supercharger near Harrogate. For anyone who's coming a long distance to the Everything Electric show, this might be somewhere where you're thinking of stopping off and charging. However, if you're not driving a Tesla, there are some pitfalls. Keep watching to find out. Although this site supports non-Teslas, there are a couple of things to be aware of. Firstly, with a non-Tesla, you need an app, the Tesla app. Secondly, the cables are quite short on these devices. These are, I think, V3s, but I'm not an expert. So I'm pretty sure they're V3s. And therefore, they don't have the longer cables that the newer V4s have got. So depending on where your charge port is, you're going to have to park maybe askew or maybe in the wrong parking bay next to the other side of the charger. But do your best to not do that, because it wastes the space for other users, particularly will annoy the Tesla users if they turn up. So with that in mind, I parked slightly askew, my charge ports on the front of the car, slightly off to the left as I look from the driver's position. I knew that I should be using the stall on my right as I drive in forwards, so I parked slightly askew to give my left side of the car a little bit more access to the right hand side, knowing that the cable might reach, might not reach. Anyway, I did manage to make it reach just about, but it's on the absolute limit of what the cable length provides. Other cars are going to have it easier because they might have it where the Teslas have it, or they might have the opposite corner when they're going in forwards. They can do that. Anyway, so charge cable length to one side. I thought, right, I'll be able to use the Tesla app, and I had the problem with the signal. So I didn't get a mobile data signal that was working properly. It was there, but it was intermittent. But while I was actually parked in the Tesla bay, I couldn't get a reliable signal. So I couldn't get the app to sort of load all the data it needed, and it kept giving me an error saying that there were no superchargers in range, and yet I'm parking literally right at one. Obviously Tesla drivers don't have this problem at all. They just literally plug in, the car communicates, and they don't even need an app. But if you need an app and you've not got a decent signal, you're not going to get a charge here. So what I did was I pulled away, got out of the space in case anyone else wanted to use it, and I've parked up and I've done a bit of analysis, and of course the app's now working when I'm not at the charging bay, but there's very little I can do about that. So what I'll do is I'll show a couple of screenshots as I'm talking now with the Tesla app to give you an idea of what it looks like. Maybe you've seen it anyway, but for those that haven't, I'll take a few screenshots if I can. But I've not had a successful visit here because whilst I was in the parking bays, I couldn't get the signal reliably. It's possible maybe I could have walked away from the car, faffed around with the phone, and then walked back to it and plugged in. But as other people were coming and going, I didn't really want to be a burden to anyone, didn't want to get in the way. And I didn't really need to charge anyway, so I thought, I'll not bother wasting the money. So I'll take a few photos and you'll be able to see the layout. There are some facilities here which I'm going to have a look at in a moment, and you know, consider it if you need to, but if you're not driving a Tesla, you might potentially want to charge somewhere else, because the app and the fact that the signal's a bit patchy might mean your experience isn't as good as it should be. Okay, so a bit of a fail for me today. I could potentially persist, but while I've been sitting here, there's been a few cars arriving now, so I'm not going to get in the way of other people who are legitimately charging just for the sake of a video. So I'll show you on the map where it is. It's not too far from the Everything Electric show, but it's a slight detour. If you're coming from the south, you'd probably not come all the way up the A61, which is the road on which this is. So as I look out forwards now, the Tesla Superchargers are in front of me. There are 6 of them, and then just the other side, the hedgerow, is the main A61 road. Okay, I think that's it for now. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.